Okay, this is going to be a real sort of down and dirty, not flashy sort of a video, but I felt like I wanted to give an update on the channel. It's things have been all changing really, and whilst I'm going to be around less, and you'll have seen a theme of that over the last year or so. It's got the content has got sort of slower and slower. I wanted to give you an update on why, an update on a few things that have come into the studio, an update on. I've had loads of people asking me for like a big studio update video. Why is that taking so long? What am I working on right now? What can you expect in the next month or two? Let me put this camera down on a tripod, and yeah, I'll let you know what's going on. So this weekend I wanted to bring you a video on my new Mulecaster by Mule Resophonics. If you haven't heard of that, it's a really cool guitar made by Mule, who were known for making, or are known for making, resonator guitars, but sort of a modern-ish take on them. But they came out with an electric guitar made out of a steel hollow body with a wooden neck. And I wanted one for a long time, but during COVID there was a huge wait list. But now that's down a little bit, maybe to sort of 6-7 months. I received the guitar earlier this week, and instantly I was excited by it. It's a completely different thing to anything I'm used to. Really intended for slide, but can be played any way you like. But I noticed a few issues with the guitar. And firstly, the volume pot just wasn't working. It was just staying on its highest volume. I'm not really sure why. And secondly, some of the finishing work just wasn't quite right. And I reached out to Matt, who owns Mule, sent him some pictures, and he agreed. And he let me in on a few sort of inside things about how they just had a little bit of staff rotation recently, and he shouldn't have let this one get out of the factory, but it normally doesn't happen like that. Anyway, he's willing or happy to pay for me to ship the guitar all the way back, bearing in mind I paid $600 for the shipping. He'll ship it back there, he'll reimburse my customs, he'll fix everything, and he's actually going to make me a new neck for the guitar, fix the pot obviously, and then ship it back at his cost. And you know, that's amazing. You can't expect everything that comes out of every business to be perfect all the time. That is not something I would expect, and it's a shame when it's your, you know, when you come across it and you're the person that has to deal with an issue. But if a business is willing to just put their hands up, pay for it all to be done and whatever, then there is no harm done, and you can trust that that's all good. But so I can't use that guitar right now. It might take a couple of weeks before it gets shipped back. It's going to probably be a few months before I'm able to show you more about it. So that was this weekend, and unfortunately I don't have a backup plan because I'm working on a bigger video that's taking me longer. Secondly, I've never been asked for a video more than a full studio update. I think because videos have been coming out sort of bits and pieces, anyone who's interested no longer has a sort of full idea of what I have here. So you're just intrigued to know what, and I guess I've had some new viewers as well who've only seen bits and pieces. I really want to make that video, and I started it and I filmed quite a lot of it actually, but it's just a huge undertaking, which tells you a bit about what's going on in this room. So I'm aiming to come out with that in December, and the reason for that is a little bit selfish, but December is when you get the biggest viewing numbers, and if I'm going to put so much time into a video, I want to bring it out then. So I'm aiming for December with that, and that's the end of the year, so that feels like that's the right time to do a studio tour, studio whatever. The next thing is I've sort of done a career change in a way. You know, it's been coming. I've talked about it a lot from here and there, but I'm making guitars now. I built a workshop at the end of my garden. It's got, you know, all the woodworking stuff and a little spray booth. And I've been experimenting, making sort of prototypes. I've made a lot more stuff than I had before. I've just got more time in there, more space, more machinery, and I actually got my first commission. So I had made the black and gold Telecaster from a couple of videos back as a sort of exercise in learning how to make guitars, and I spent 3 years, and that was for Zach over in the States, who paid for the parts. I paid for the wood and the finish, and yeah, I learned a lot doing that. And having seen that, someone who watches the channel commissioned me to make a baritone Telecaster, and I'm really enjoying doing that. And so far, it's teaching me new skills again. The fretboard it's got a bound fretboard, which is the first time I've done that, and I actually managed to finish that the other day. And so, you know, more new things for me to learn. Making a baritone is really cool. I love baritones. If you don't watch my channel much or have never seen it before, I have a guitar by Castadosa, which is a baritone, and I play that thing all the time. And I feel like at some point, if I'm making a lot of baritones, I'll do a lot more content on them because I think they're slightly misunderstood guitars. But anyway, my week at the moment looks like basically I'm in the business of making guitars. I get up and walk the dog and then get in the workshop nice and early and spend 10 hours in there. It whizzes by. And I came in to film a video this week in the studio and realised my guitar playing skills have started to decline. Which, given I was practicing or playing 3 to 6 hours a day for 4 years, and then over the last 3 months or so, that's diminished to some weeks nothing, some weeks an hour or two, some weeks a few hours. Of course, it's going to happen. So I've come up with a plan that will help me continue to maybe not improve in playing the guitar, but at least keep the skills that I'd started to build up, and hopefully make some interesting content for the channel. So going forward, I'm going to try and get in the studio for 2 to 3 hours in the morning, 3 or 4 days a week. And some of that will be making videos, some of that will just be playing. And I'm working on a video about playing a Strat through all my amps at bedroom volume. And I filmed the first 5 or 6 amps out of about 14. So I'm hoping by the middle of next week, I'll get that video out. It's a really important video actually, because that's the question I've probably been asked most, apart from how do you afford all this stuff, is, you know, if you love boutique amps, but you can only play at low volume, are they worth it? So I'm going to play through everything I've got with a Strat, and we're talking pretty low volumes here, so it should be applicable to anyone in that situation. So yeah, there's the Mulecaster thing that happened, there's me being in the workshop all the time, and I'm hoping to, you know, make guitars for the rest of my life, basically. It's a passion that's turning into something that I can see being my job, so to speak, although it doesn't feel like it. Like, even when I'm standing there doing something difficult or annoying, or sanding something that can take hours and hours and hours sanding, I just think, God, I'm so lucky that I can spend my time doing this. But at the same time, YouTube is important for me, right? I've built it up slowly over the last 4 years. It's doing pretty well, but what I like the most is I've made so many friends out of that and Instagram. And if I just disappear off the face of the earth, I'll miss out on a lot of interaction and fun. And, you know, I'm making guitars, but I've always wanted to be a decent guitar player, so I want to keep doing that. Yeah, so that's that. If you don't see me for weeks at a time, it's likely I've just got my head down in the workshop. I haven't made any workshop videos yet, because when I'm in there, I'm so focused on what I'm doing that having a camera, and I've tried it a few times, just distracts me. And so until I've cut my teeth and feel really comfortable, I probably won't show too much of what's going on. Because I just enjoy being in the moment, right? You're working with wood. I use some hand tools, hand planes, chisels. I also use big bits of machinery where you have to be really careful. And I'm, you know, already making a guitar for someone that's paying me pretty good money for it. And I want to get everything just right. So I'm working really hard on doing that. I probably will start putting up the odd photograph more on Instagram. I put stuff on my story, so obviously you can only see that for a day. I put lots of updates, maybe 2 or 3 a day of something I'm making. So that sort of comes and goes. But yeah, nothing major has come to the channel apart from the Mulecaster in the last few months. There is one guitar that I've bought, but I won't be getting that for a while. It's being made by my favourite guitar maker, Nico Giordano. I'll keep that under wraps, or maybe I'll flash a picture of it up on screen right now. But yeah, if you cared to know, that's what's going on. Maybe next year, I feel like next year I will probably start to do videos in my workshop. I really love the sort of ASMR side of guitar making. I can watch a half-an-hour video of a start to finish guitar making process where someone uses some hand tools and some machines, and you just see the guitar come to life. It's a huge undertaking. It means focusing on the woodwork and the camera work at the same time. And I'm not ready for that yet. I just feel it. Like, it makes me less happy when I know I've got to focus on the camera as well. So for now, I'm going to enjoy myself with that. And that's just sort of real, you know, rather than, you know, going out of my way to just make it all about social media, which, you know, social media is important to some degree. And again, as I said, I've made lots of friends from it, and continue to do. And I do get a lot of questions. I love, you know, helping people out. And I sort of want to keep my stance on that, or status on that, if that makes sense. I've built it up, so I might as well still be around. But we're looking at probably 2 YouTube videos a month, really. But I'm hoping to get the big one out next week about playing these amps at bedroom volume. Yeah, but you've got to prioritise yourself and what you enjoy and what you want to build. And I want to build up to being a great guitar maker one day. Right, yeah, so that's the update. I'll see you next week, hopefully. I've spent the morning recording all these amps, and I'll be back in here tomorrow to do the same. So yeah, thanks for watching.